Okay, besties, I had posed a question about the resilient Jenkins Drew and where he was in the morning because Stephanie Jenkins said that he went somewhere and that's why he wasn't in the hotel motel room, right? Hotel motel Holiday Inn? Yeah. So, turns out he went to court. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. He's claiming that he went to court and now he's able to drive. He couldn't drive there because his license was suspended, but he states that the judge unsuspended his license, and with the sign of a pen, he also recalled his bench warrant, and so now Drew Jenkins can drive and he has a bench warrant revoked, so now he's able to go out and doesn't have to hide. My question is, does he really think we believe it? Because Arlita is saying that her child support case number does not align with the case number that is on that piece of paper that he showed, that I have on the bottom of the screen. So who's lying? Do we think Arlita's lying or do we think Drew Jenkins is?
Grab your matcha, babe, because the streets are talking, and the tea on Stephanie Jenkins is piping hot. It looks like our favorite motel livestream queen might have just slipped up big time, like career-ending, court-crawling big. And honestly, the internet is not letting it slide. So, you know how Stephanie's been all over social media lately, documenting every crusty corner of that motel life with Drew Jenkins? Well, turns out behind those chaotic live streams and dollar store drama, there's been a major scandal brewing, and Stephanie is smack in the middle of it. Let's break it all the way down. Drew Jenkins, her internet infamous partner, has a 12-year-old son that he's supposed to be financially supporting. And instead of, doing the bare minimum as a dad, Drew's been straight up ghosting on his responsibilities. We're talking full-on child support dodge, to the point where the court actually hit him with a bench warrant. Yes, babe, a real one, not Twitter rumors, not TikTok hearsay, this was all documented and public record. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Drew, being Drew, tried to cover it all up. He hopped on livestream looking smug and defiant, telling his followers it was all fake news, that the haters were reaching, and that there was no warrant out for him. Classic gaslight, right? But enter Stephanie Jenkins, stage left, unknowingly dropping a truth bomb that blew Drew's little PR stunt right out of the water. In one of her many overshare sessions online, she casually revealed that the police knew exactly where they were staying, and could show up any time to arrest Drew. Girl, what? So now we've got Drew screaming fake news, while Stephanie is accidentally confirming the exact opposite. Not even a well-planned lie, just chaos on full display. And the fans? They're putting it all together like it's a true crime documentary. The receipts are receding. People pulled court documents, saw the warrant was very real, and boom, Drew's whole little, I'm innocent act went up in smoke.
Pardon my excitement, but Drew Jenkins has a warrant out for his arrest for failure to appear. Why am I excited about this? Because it means Desiree can have him arrested. She can go get her son. This is good news, guys.
But wait, it gets even more unhinged. Instead of just owning it, Drew popped up in a new video with a cape on, because of course he did, standing outside what appeared to be a courthouse. He claimed he'd resolved everything, holding up this sketchy, handwritten paper that allegedly said the warrant was recalled. No judge's signature, no official stamp, not even proper formatting. It looked like something he scribbled in a Walgreens parking lot with a borrowed pen. A whole DIY courtroom fantasy.
Okay, besties, I had posed a question about the resilient Jenkins Drew and where he was in the morning because Stephanie Jenkins said that he went somewhere and that's why he wasn't in the hotel motel room, right? Hotel motel Holiday Inn? Yeah. So, turns out he went to court. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. He's claiming that he went to court and now he's able to drive. He couldn't drive there because his license was suspended, but he states that the judge unsuspended his license, and with the sign of a pen, he also recalled his bench warrant, and so now Drew Jenkins can drive and he has a bench warrant revoked, so now he's able to go out and doesn't have to hide. My question is, does he really think we believe it? Because Arlita is saying that her child support case number does not align with the case number that is on that piece of paper that he showed, that I have on the bottom of the screen. So who's lying? Do we think Arlita's lying or do we think Drew Jenkins is? I don't know. Go ahead and comment, besties, because I want to know.
And where was Stephanie during this? Quiet. Not a peep. No clarification, no explanation, just letting Drew parade around with his fake legal fanfic. And then to top it all off, Drew posted that his driver's license was being reinstated, meaning he just confessed to driving while it was suspended. Illegal. And yes, he filmed himself behind the wheel, holding the phone, probably committing another traffic violation in real time. And Stephanie? Still silent. So here's the real tea, babe. Stephanie has been playing the loyal sidekick for too long, and now she's tangled in Drew's mess. Whether she's knowingly helping him cover up or just too deep in denial to break the cycle, one thing is clear, she's not just documenting drama anymore. She's becoming part of a story that might end in handcuffs, not hashtags. That's not just reckless, that's downright dangerous. Jody flat out ignored the law. He openly admitted to driving with a suspended license, breaking the rules, and instead of fixing it properly, he whipped up a fake-looking document, waved it in front of the camera, and tried to convince everyone that the problem was magically solved. It was sloppy, careless, and honestly showed he wasn't trying to improve, he was just trying to fool people into thinking he had. People saw right through the whole charade. The handwriting was messy, there was no official court seal, no judge's signature, just a hastily scrawled note that looked like it was put together on a kitchen table in 5 minutes.
Many people can agree that Drew has purposely been avoiding getting a job so he doesn't have to pay child support. And yes, he was also driving around on a suspended license for a long period of time. It might be related to him owing such a significant amount of child support, but it could also be for other reasons. Needless to say, a lot of people feel frustrated because they want to see Drew and Stephanie actually have consequences for their actions and not just continue to see them avoiding responsibility at all costs.
Naturally, the internet went straight to the one person who could confirm the truth, Fast Hand Ollie, the mother of Jody's 12-year-old son. Her inbox and comment sections exploded with questions. Did Drew really get the warrant cleared? Is this legit? Did he actually go to court? And how did she respond? With laughter. Not a detailed explanation, not a defense, just a laugh. And if you know Fast Hand, that kind of laugh says volumes. It's the, I can't believe you guys actually bought this, kind of laugh. Her reaction spoke loud and clear, no judge had cleared anything. That paper Jody showed off was completely fake, the signature forged, no official court involved. This was just another episode in Jody's never-ending reality show nobody asked for. Fast Hand's laugh said it all. It confirmed what many suspected, Jody hadn't gone through any proper legal channels, hadn't paid a dime, hadn't negotiated child support, and hadn't even stepped foot in front of a judge. The whole thing was staged. So what does this mean? This isn't just a case of internet fibbing, it's potentially criminal. We're talking about possible forgery. Jody fabricated a legal document, pretended to be cleared by a judge, and tried to pass it off to thousands online as proof he'd fixed his mess. That's not just lying, that's criminal-level deception. If the wrong eyes catch this, it could lead to real charges. And all of it was for clout, for views, for internet attention. Before dropping the forged document, Jody tried to build suspense like it was a season finale. He posted cryptic messages promising to finally give answers fans had been waiting for. He even teased going live to share it all in real time. It felt like hype for a big announcement no one really asked for. Fans started getting curious, maybe he was finally stepping up, applying for a job, sorting out his health, working on custody, or making child support arrangements. For a brief moment, people hoped he was turning over a new leaf, taking responsibility. But no. Instead of doing something real, Jody's big reveal was a single handwritten sentence on a piece of paper claiming the court recalled his bench warrant. No official documents, no signatures, no confirmations, just a scribbled note that looked like a high school prank. That was their master plan, write a quick note and pretend the legal system had wiped his slate clean, the same system he'd mocked and dodged for months. At first, people thought it was a joke, some sort of prank to fool the internet. But then it became clear they were serious. Jody and Stephanie were actually trying to convince people this forged note was legit. That's when the whole thing stopped being funny. This isn't just about lazy parenting, dodging responsibility, or chasing clout. It's about deception on a serious level, faking something that carries real legal weight. They weren't just playing games with their followers, they were making a mockery of the court system itself. And that's not a story you just brush off. This could have real consequences down the line. Alright, imagine for a second that the document Drew flashed really is legit, that the court did actually recall his bench warrant. Let's say everything he's been claiming about finally getting a break from the legal system is true. Even then, there's a huge question hanging over the whole story. How exactly did he pay for it? We're talking about court fees, filing charges, reinstating a suspended driver's license, none of which come cheap. But honestly, that just doesn't seem likely. Considering their lifestyle, living out of motels and all, that doesn't exactly scream financial stability. So the story starts to fall apart once again, because when you follow the money, the pieces just don't fit. No receipts, no proof of income, no clear explanation of how Drew could have actually covered those costs. That's the thing about lies, they don't just crack on the surface. They collapse when you look closer. When you ask who paid, how it was done, or if anyone helped him, the whole thing turns shaky. Drew and Stephanie clearly thought they could just flash a piece of paper on camera and quiet the critics, but they forgot that people actually ask questions. People dig deeper. And in this case, there's nothing to back up their story. No money trail, no legit payments. Then it starts to feel a bit more deliberate, almost like this chaotic lifestyle is less accidental and more a calculated move. Drew and Stephanie have been dropping hints for months that Drew wants to be a full-time content creator. They say working a normal job would waste 10 years of their lives, and that they want to work smarter, not harder. Sounds ambitious, but if you dig beneath the surface, it's just another excuse to avoid steady work. They want all the perks of influencer life without actually doing the hard work behind it. The reality is, social media income is unstable, especially if you don't post regularly, build genuine engagement, or offer anything that actually keeps followers interested.
Let me get this straight. Your family's homeless and you want to know what kind of video game you should play today. Sir, you have 5 kids and you are homeless with your wife. And you want to know what kind of video game you should play. Doesn't that sound crazy to y'all? Because that sounds crazy coming out of my mouth. Aren't you literally on the run from the police right now? Let's play get a job. Let's play pay child support. Let's play be a real man for your family. The fact that Stephanie could literally call her mom at any point in time and be like, hey, I need your help, and her mom would literally help her. But she chooses to stay with a man that would rather sit and play video games in a motel room while they are homeless. But the video game, sell the video game. And you can just tell that those kids are tired. Y'all go from motel room to motel room. They're cooking on the floor and on bathroom sinks. This is not a life that children should be living. What do y'all?
Drew doesn't even qualify for TikTok's creator fund. He's not monetized, doesn't promote products, and isn't creating content that attracts a loyal audience. If anything, the drama he stirs pushes people away. Social media paychecks are unpredictable. One week you're viral, the next barely anyone's watching. That kind of inconsistency isn't just bad for your reputation, it's a nightmare if you're trying to raise a kid, pay off debts, or secure your future. Instead of facing this reality and making real changes, Drew's chosen to fake legal documents, post cryptic messages, and keep stirring drama as his plan. He seems to think that if he stays in the spotlight long enough, the TikTok algorithm will reward him and all that attention will magically turn into cash. But attention doesn't equal income, especially when it's rooted in lies, manipulation, and negativity. So instead of growing up or taking responsibility, Drew's building a brand on dishonesty and desperation. And Stephanie is right there alongside him, hyping him up and fueling the chaos. They're spending all their energy trying to be marketable, hoping people will focus on the entertainment and forget the very real issues they keep running from, like child support, stable jobs, and long-term security. That's not a plan. That's not resilience. It's a slow-motion train wreck, and everyone watching can see it coming. And Stephanie? She's not just sitting back watching the drama unfold. She's right in the thick of it, actively backing Drew no matter how obvious it is to everyone else that he's spinning tall tales. She repeats his strange lines, plays up his so-called big reveal like it's some blockbuster event. Instead of helping Drew find a real way forward, she handed him a bigger shovel, making sure he keeps digging himself deeper into trouble. Instead of pushing Drew to take responsibility and straighten out his life, Stephanie has taken on the role of his biggest cheerleader, feeding into his excuses and reinforcing his unrealistic ideas. She's not encouraging him to deal with his legal troubles or seek steady employment. There's no call for him to grow up or be accountable. Rather, she's actively helping him create staged content, back up forged documents, and stir up drama just to keep people's attention. For them, chaos means views, and views mean validation. But the truth is, the audience is growing tired. The same people who once admired Stephanie as a determined mom trying to make a better life are starting to lose faith. They've witnessed too many inconsistencies, too many moments when Stephanie could have made the right choice but instead opted for performative gestures in front of the camera. Her credibility is wearing thin, and her public image is fading fast. Her non-stop live streams defending Drew aren't winning hearts anymore, they're driving viewers away. People aren't naive, they see clearly what's happening. They see a woman who could be a guiding force at home, yet instead, she props up a man unwilling to take responsibility for his child, his future, or even himself. That's the heartbreaking part. If Stephanie truly wanted better for her family, she'd quit fueling social media drama and stop supporting fake documents. She'd focus on pushing for genuine change, real accountability, and healing. But she's chosen otherwise, and that says a lot. Now that the fake documents have been uncovered, everyone is asking, what's next for Drew and Stephanie? Will they keep up the endless cycle of lies and distractions, hoping their followers will forget? Will they escalate their deception with even more forged papers and viral stunts on TikTok and Instagram, trying to drown out the backlash? Or will they finally put an end to the charade and tell the truth? This situation isn't just embarrassing anymore, it's become dangerous. They aren't just wasting people's time, they're playing fast and loose with the legal system. And the courts don't take kindly to being mocked. If an official notices those forged documents, Drew could face serious legal trouble beyond just internet ridicule. Faking a judge's signature is a serious crime, not something to be taken lightly. And if Stephanie played a part, whether by encouraging it, signing off on it, or helping to present it as real, she could be in legal jeopardy too. Right now, they're walking a precarious line, risking severe consequences. But instead of slowing down and facing the reality of their situation, they're recklessly charging ahead, acting like nothing can touch them. They've turned their lives into a spectacle, except it's not the kind with applause and admiration. The tricks are failing, and the audience is leaving. People are uncomfortable, worried, and watching as this whole mess spirals into something much worse than online drama. So what's the next move? Another stunt? Another half-truth? Or will this finally be the moment they get serious and stop pretending? Because the time for acting is over, and the consequences are catching up. Drew has a real child, a living, breathing kid who didn't ask to be dragged into this chaos. This child needs consistent care, not just when it's convenient, but all the time. He needs stability, calm, and a parent who shows up and follows through. Someone who chooses him over internet fame. Someone who sees responsibility as an opportunity, not a burden. Fake documents won't buy food or clothes. Lies on TikTok won't pay bills or provide basic necessities. Views don't put a roof over their heads. Live streams don't pay for school supplies. Drama doesn't keep the lights on. Every time Drew dodges accountability, avoids court, or hides from the truth, it's not just the internet losing trust, it's his child. The distance grows, the connection weakens, and the kid suffers for choices he never made. The online world is watching, but more importantly, so is that child. One day he'll come across all this, the lies, the forged papers, the chaos, and he'll wonder why his needs were treated like content. People aren't fooled. They recognize manipulation and spot when something doesn't add up. Right now, the lies aren't just falling apart, they're pushing people away. So to Drew and Stephanie, it's time to end the performance. Stop clinging to schemes, pity plays, and false narratives. Start showing up for your future and for that child's present. Build something real, earn respect instead of sympathy. Choose honest effort over shortcuts and hard truths over deception. Because a family needs more than online fame, it needs a solid foundation. If this ongoing drama is what you call resilience, then it's long overdue to rethink that word. True resilience means growth, sacrifice, and honesty, not running away, hiding, or faking it. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think Drew and Stephanie should do next? And hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay real and take care.